Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 48. And we coming at you live from the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California. And I'm just here on the boys' trip, just trying to decompress, trying to unwind, man. And I'm just gonna relax, and try to recalibrate, man. Try to just reset. Because as I talked in yesterday's podcast, yesterday marked 42 weeks of being on prep, and not continuously, but what I did notice, man, in this, it took a lot out of me mentally. I I've made people who are extremely important to me feel like they're not important at all. And I gotta work on that. I have to fix that. I have to be mindful of that. We took fourth yesterday, and and I knew going in that my conditioning wasn't where it needed to be to place higher. I knew that. I had a lot of personal shit going on, and I tried my best to block it out. I tried my best to, to deal with it in a positive way, but it, hey man, sometimes, like shit happens and you just gotta roll with it. And a friend of mine said last night too, and like, cause we was talking about the formula and everything too. And I said, hey, you know what? I gotta tweak the formula, this and that. And she's like, what you mean? I said, oh well, the conditioning was off. And she's like, what you mean? What are you talking about? And then she goes, and I go, well, from the last show, it was the posing and the conditioning and the size, and the size. This show, it was, I focus more on the size and less on the conditioning, and this is the package that I brought. And she's like, no, like you don't have to fix the formula. You just have to work harder. She's like, just work harder. And she's like, I know you can do it because the fact that you were up there doing your shit, doing your thing. It's like, and she said, just keep working. She's like, I know you gonna keep working because I guess that's the type of individual you are. Like you gonna keep working regardless. And she's like, one of these days we gonna see each other on stage at nationals and we gonna fucking rock out. And I appreciate her, I really do, because that's what I needed to hear. And as far as the formula goes, I ain't changing the damn thing. I'm just gonna go back and in the off season do more cardio. I'm gonna try to do at least 30 minutes a day, or at least, if not every day, every other day. So when prep does roll around, or whenever I do decide to go jump back into prep and chase, that national qualification, which I'm gonna get because that's one of my goals. One of my goals this year was to do the Open and get nationally qualified. So I did part of it. I didn't do the other part. I didn't get nationally qualified, and I just gotta work harder. Simple as that. I've never been one to sit there and say, woe is me or everything else. Like, no, it's like everything else doesn't matter. Everything else is secondary when it comes to competitive bodybuilding. And that's where I fucked up at. I started treating people who would do anything in the world for me. I treated them like they was not important. I treated them like they weren't not worthy of my time, but I made them feel that way. And I gotta fix that. I gotta work on that, man. I have to be able to be better, because if I can't be better for the ones I love around me, how the fuck can I be better for anybody else? And that's one thing I've always strived on. I've always strived on gratitude and kindness. For a minute there, I was using the hashtag gratitude always, and it's true. One of my good friends, I love her to death, and we have a very unique relationship, and it got to the point where we haven't talked, and it was a lot of bullshit, and there's a lot of like a lot of growth that was taking place in my life, and it was just something that I I knew that I had to do. And growth is painful, man. And don't get me wrong, she's beautiful. She's funny. She's intelligent, and she's everything that a guy could wish for, and a bag of chips. And for a minute, we was inseparable, and I had to fall back because I knew I couldn't do competitive bodybuilding and talk to her too at the same time, because we have a platonic relationship where, and she said it herself, and that we're less than, well, we're more than friends but less than lovers. Actually, I said that. And it's true. And we both have to fall back because we both realized that how what we were doing, or and how we were carrying on, it wasn't conducive to what I wanted to do as an individual. And first and foremost, man, it's being a competitive bodybuilder. That's what I do. That's not who I am. That's what I do. And I think a lot of people, man, is like they get the two confused. They look at me and be like, "Yo, he's a competitive bodybuilder." Like, no, 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 no. Competitive bodybuilding is what I do. It's not who I am. And for a minute there, I lost myself in this sport. I started treating people like her, like they didn't matter. And I owe her an apology for that, because she does matter. And I'm sitting there making this podcast, and I'm like, yo, you know, your girl matters. And when I say my girl, I don't mean that in a romantic way. I mean that in a way that she's the type of woman, like she calls me, I'm gonna drop whatever I'm doing. And it's not on some simpleton shit. It's not on some fucking puppy love shit. That's just the vibe we got. And I gotta fix that, man, because it's like, here I am treating somebody like that who would do anything for me. And when I say anything, I mean anything for me. And that's the one thing that with this prep it's taught me, man. Is like, you got to keep the ones genuinely close to you. And the ones who are willing to put up with the mood swings and the drama and all that other shit that happens in competitive bodybuilding. She did all that. She, man, she was my counselor. She was my homegirl. She's my confidant. Still is. And I love her to death for that, man. I really do. And some relationships, man, they're worth keeping. And she's one of them. And the more and more I think about it, I'm like, yo, what you doing is stupid. Like, the more and more I think about it, because you don't find too many genuine people in this lifetime. You really don't. And with her, man, it's like, even though she has her own things going on, even though it's like she has her own obstacles or whatnot, yo, when you find somebody who's there for you, keep them around. Because like I said, you don't find too many genuine people, man, in this world. Genuine people don't come around too often, man. Anyway, y'all, I will talk to you later, because we about to go explore the great city of Los Angeles, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna have a good time. Boys weekend. All right, y'all. Ghost, love y'all. And keep it the 4 P's, man. Private, player, positive, and pushing. See y'all next week. Ghost.